his bed. I got him a little bed so he could sit next to me while I worked. And he's right over there. He's now right over there. So if you hear some very soft snoring, you know what that is. It's a baby boy. Actually, it's a baby boy. But he's Tucker now because this morning I love cats, and this is why they're so easily amused. I got kind of a flatter box, right? I got a package, I got like a flatter box, but it's perfect for him to sit in, right? I just keep putting one of his mice in there with him. That's it, and it bothers him so much that it's in there with him. So he kept grabbing it, throwing up in the air, chasing it around. I tossed it to him, and he would hit it out of the air as well. Also, if I kick it to him on the floor, he will kick it back to me. He's amazing. I love him so much. I love him so much. I think I'm going to go in between soft-spoken and whispered for this video. I think that's probably the best course of action because, first off, I don't have the Yeti anymore. I actually have recorded this video a couple of times, but I thought I would actually keep it kind of basic, to be honest. I actually, in another one, had shown you, like I got Christmas cards that I was sending out to people, but when I was talking about that, that actually kind of, what's a good way to put that? It kind of indicated what a lot of my problem is that has led to this point where it's been a little bit since I uploaded for you all, and I want to apologize for that. I will say, if you're like, oh, well, why the lights? Especially after Christmas, I'll tell you why. For one, seasonal depression exists, but two, listen, I bought these the day after Christmas because people are like, the retailers are like, oh, we didn't get rid of them before Christmas, we got rid of these. Well, these were $56, I believe. So it's three. It's actually three of these, and they're the steady lit type. They're in or outdoor. These are regularly, I think it was 56. Yeah, I got them for $12. So been enjoying that. I didn't have any Christmas decorations because I did not want to take everything from my ex, to be honest, because we had like a lot of stuff it was like family heirlooms from her side of the family. So I have a couple of things that specifically like, meant a lot to me or happened to have been something that was made for me, something of the like. But a lot of it I tried to make sure that she still kept because like, I had actually mentioned this in the other versions of this, but like we're actually friends now, which is great. We're old friends at this point, and I'm really happy about that. I think the best decision I ever made was leaving her for her. Honestly, she's doing way better now. I think I was holding her back. I think if you want to take anything away from this video before I say anything else, break up with people. Break up with people. Do it. You won't. Break up with people when it gets to the point where you're like, I don't think we can salvage this because you might be holding them back, and I definitely think I was. But I'm also glad that I tried for quite a few years to work things out because I think that's also, there's a lot that you can work out in relationships, but it has to be both people that are completely on board for that. So if someone else is just kind of like wishy-washy, just go on ahead. Get out of their way, you know what I mean? But I hope you're all doing so absolutely well. The things I wanted to talk about. The reason I've not been around, it's actually two prongs. So the first portion that I will mention, as some of you know, I didn't move. So I broke up with my ex in mid-2024, and it still took like another year of us living together for us both to be like, get our finances in a row enough to even fully, like, we didn't do a divorce, we did a dissolution. So it took a year from then. So we were just, like broken up during that time period, but legally married, which again, she's a really good person. I genuinely, I married. That's the reason why. You just keep hitting that, right? But that's the reason why I didn't, marry somebody that was a terrible person, that was hard for me to talk to or to work with. So, yes, we were not able to work things out romantically, but, we were very cordial about everything. We gave each other plenty of time. And I actually think that because we took so much longer that process, that actually might have helped. But I ended up moving out after we got legally, we had the marriage dissolved. I ended up moving out pretty soon after that point. I say pretty soon. It was a couple of months. We just made sure that we had like everything completely separated. Because again, you like usually get your finances taken care of together. Insurance was a huge issue because she was on mine, stuff like that. Basically, where like it's like, okay, I need to make sure you still have coverage, so let's make sure we like follow up on that. Just stuff like that. Also getting stuff done before she's taken off my insurance, because it's like you'd be wasting the time, the money with that. But yeah, I ended up moving, and I think from a lot of my other videos, it's already going to be apparent. So I'm not really going to like try and like, oh, let me hide. No. So I moved to the city. I did move to Philadelphia because I've posted a bunch of stuff from me walking around. So I mean, the cat kind of would have been out the back. He's in his bed actually, but and I love Philly. The first apartment that I moved into, though, which some people are immediately going to know, I moved onto the west side because I was like, oh wow, I really like the fact that there's a lot more greenery on this side. I also had heard that that was the gay side of Philly. It's not. The entire city is. And there's also the neighborhood, but I had heard that was the gay side of Philly as well. So I was like, okay. And then I moved close to where the trolley routes are. Well, the issue is the apartment that I moved into at first was really great. It was pretty cheap, to be honest. I as a person tend to, the cheapest decent option I'll probably go with as far as like a living situation, because I usually make places livable and good. But also, I've been homeless before. So like when I say my standards are like maybe a little bit lower, if it has water and heat, that's better than some places that I've lived in my life. Let's just be honest with each other here. But there was a deal breaker in that place, which some people probably already know because I said West Philly. So they turned on the boiler room. They'd gone in the boiler room and turned on all of the radiators for like to turn the heat on for the building, essentially. I'll say it that way. Apparently the building had roaches, and I didn't know, and I found out because I lived on the 3rd floor. They weren't really up there until they turned everything on, because then they went from the basement where there were apartments and they went up, and I freaked out because I actually, despite the situations I've lived in before, I've never had them. And thankfully I'm pretty clean as is, so I didn't have as much of an issue as I heard my neighbor in a basement apartment that I talked to about it after it happened. Some people are able to get through things mentally that like I would, but yeah, so when he talked about his issue, I was like, okay, so I still, even to this point, don't have it that bad. But I wasn't able to sleep. I ended up losing 10 pounds just from stress and from walking around a lot. My first week here, not my first week, I apologize, my first month here, which I had been in that apartment 2 weeks before that happened. I did not even stay a full month, but those 2 weeks in between then, basically, I was just kind of going crazy, looking for another apartment. Got this one. I don't live in West Philly now, but I ended up moving apartments with Jonas, which I was really worried about him because they're allergenic. He has asthma. Math. So I have to make sure. Hi, honey. He just woke up and looked over at me. I have to make sure that he's taken care of because, especially with him being a little bit older, he's 10 now, I need to make sure I'm taking very good care of him. Well, yeah, I need to get him out of that, and also he could hear them in the walls. And unfortunately, with time passing, I could too, because I also have okay hearing. I have decent hearing, I'll put it that way. So it got to the point where I could recognize it too, so we both knew when things were happening. So it was like a 2-week period where I was sleeping 3 hours a night and basically just gone the entire day looking for another place or getting stuff ready for another place. I felt like I aged 10 years plus within that time period. I've been slowly but surely coming back from it. I actually sustained an injury as a result of all of that though, because I was also walking, I think like 30,000 steps a day, something like that. Because I also had a lot of nervous energy because of that happening and didn't want to be in that apartment at all at any point, which I felt bad because I was leaving Jonas alone. But yeah, I kind of went insane for a bit there basically. But the reason that I didn't post or anything of the like, I recorded some things on my phone, but they can get into electronics. I didn't want to turn on my computer and have that as a heat source that during the cold, they would be like, oh, let me go in there. I'm not even kidding, even me getting everything ready to move, I threw away a bunch of stuff. I had already thrown away a bunch of stuff. I already didn't have a bunch of stuff because I moved. So I moved states to move back home to, I was born in Pennsylvania. I was like, I'll move back home, back to my home state, and SEPTA is spotty but pretty good compared to the rest of the country in terms of like transit, so I have no issues getting anywhere. It just might take me a little bit longer some days. But I ended up getting rid of the Yeti, and I had to get rid of my radio too for the people who like those triggers, just to make sure, to be honest. But the Yeti was already busted, and something happened to the radio, to be honest, in transit. So I was like, I'm just not even gonna mess with this. So both of those are gone, and that actually kind of leads me into the next point. But I'll finish off this saying, we're safe and we're good now. If you happen to see me walking around and you're somebody that knows me from this channel, it is completely okay for you to say hello to me, but like, don't come running up to me or anything like that. I'm already on high alert out here because I'm on the L getting off. I'm at the door waiting to get off. I want to say this was at 30th. I'm like at the door waiting to get off, and there's like a little glass divider for people that don't like take the L very often or haven't been on it ever. I'm standing there waiting to get off, right? And I look, I'm just, just kind of smiling a little bit, just a little happy, just having a good day. Probably had a good amount of caffeine that day, but I tend to actually be a relatively cheery person, so I was just smiling a little bit, just, this is why you don't fucking smile at people in the city, okay? Specifically, I look over, and there's a guy in the seat that the divider is just in between both of us, basically, but he's like less than a foot away from me without the divider, right? And I made eye contact with him, and I just did a little bit more of a smile, just like, hey, kind of like that. Why is it a second later he starts pantomiming cunnilingus on me? What is wrong with you? Hi, editing. I just wanted to add this in. The day I recorded this, a SEPTA driver stopped the train to I'm not kidding, to lean out the window and say, hey, to me. So he stopped the fucking train to do that, which you're wasting everybody's time. Like, we're on a schedule here. Get this shit going. But a SEPTA driver did that, which made me feel really unsafe, to be honest. I went to the very, very end train to make sure I was nowhere near him, because, yeah, I felt comfortable enough I was just walking along the platform, like that's it. Just walking along, waiting for the train, and he leaned out. I was like in a big puffy coat too. It's not like it really fucking matters what you're wearing, but like, I feel like to some people it does, you know what I'm saying? I don't think so, but even the people that would think that sort of thing, like, it was a giant puffy jacket. And then the same day as well, after that, I'm walking around and a guy stops his car and is honking it. He's like looking out the window at me, and I don't know this man. I just keep saying that. I don't know this man. And also, I've had multiple people in my building now say that, oh, if you want, I can start hand delivering your mail to you. I can get it myself out of the mailroom, thank you. Every single one of these every single one of these people is a man. Every woman that's hit on me has been a lot less insistent, we'll say. But yeah, no, I've only been here a couple of months, and it's been, I think I kind of forgot because I had not been in the dating scene for so long. And like, I'm in the process of getting my tattoo removed too. So like, people have even asked about them, like, oh yeah, like, before I realize that they're about to start hitting on me, I just like casually be like, oh yeah, I'm getting it removed. Like, start talking about the process, because it's kind of cool. I'll just talk about that to random people that say like good morning and talk about the weather with me. I'm too friendly. That's my issue. So I have been trying to avoid other people because of that, but like, yeah, I just had somebody that's like, I can start bringing you your mail. I know what apartment you're in. I'm getting it done. Okay. That leads me into my next point. The other reason I have not been posting as much is one of you out there. It's been, a lot of people have been kind of inappropriate with me, to be completely honest with you, but somebody, and I'm just going to say this the exact same way that I said it to everybody else in my life, because there's no better way to say it. One of you out there saw me as an ASMR artist that has everything on my profile blasted with nothing in SFW. Nothing in SFW. SFW only, please. Okay? And this was actually before I even came out and said that I was divorced too, so I just want to add that on there. But one of you sent me a photo of your unloved cock, okay? And I'm not having this, because I've already had so many emails of depraved things sent to me, disgusting things sent to me. I actually recorded a video of this. The initial one was the angriest, and I was like, maybe I should back off. And I'm like, I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle. We're gonna find a sweet spot here. But so many of you have been highly inappropriate with me, and it makes literally no sense, to be honest, to me personally, because I have in every single way possible said I'm not into any of that. If I wanted to do sex work or I wanted to do porn, I would. Do you know, if you want to do something, you can just do it. I don't have to hide behind 10 layers of irony of, oh, I'm doing ASMR, but actually it's because I want to. No. I'm doing it because I think it's relaxing and I like it. I literally make like no money from this. It took me 3 years to even start making like $100 every year. And I'm pretty much still at that same point, let's be real. But I don't make my money from this. I'm doing this for the love of the game. I'm doing it because I like ASMR and I watch it on the regular. I'm an enjoyer of ASMR, which is why I make ASMR, okay? And at some point I can do a video where I kind of talk about my sexuality, because a couple of people have had some questions as a result of me saying my ex-wife. But I will say part of it is actually directly against any of that. So it's kind of disgusting to me, but I didn't think I really had to verbalize this. Excuse me, it's the morning, so my voice always gets a little rough in the morning. I didn't really think I had to verbalize this though. I'm not trying to fuck any of you, and I'm not gonna. I didn't think that I would really have to say that, but are we kidding? So, as a result of this, there are a lot of triggers that I really genuinely like and I watch because I enjoy the sound, I enjoy the experience of it, like, especially like any type of like ear stuff. I really have liked those in the past, especially with like the 3DO. I've really liked those. And I don't take it in like a weird creepy way, because apparently some people do. And I especially know that because they've taken it that way with like my videos that don't even have that mic. But some people have taken things, and I've had pretty much every single physical body part that I have has been sexualized in some way, shape, or form in messages sent to me or in comments. I've kind of talked about some, like kind of poked fun at them, but I'm showing you the tame stuff. But, you know, I've now started getting sent people's genitals, and I said to myself, okay, we're good. I haven't wanted to post because of that, I'll be real with you. It just made me so incredibly uncomfortable, and it was very disheartening, to be honest. It was very disheartening. But I'm not going to let that completely ruin me wanting to be here for you all and be present for you all and make, you know, really nice little sounds, little weird sounds into a microphone for you. Which is why, like, again, I lost my mic even. I'm recording this on my phone. We're good. My phone audio sometimes sounds better than the Yeti did, which is a little funny. But, excuse me, sorry. Again, morning time, I always have like a little bit. But what is going to be happening going forward as a result of that is I'm going to be going ahead and some of the triggers I'm doing and comfortable with are going to change. So I will do up close triggers. I will do gum chewing triggers that are up close. I will do like spit painting, the kissing sounds or anything like that, lens licking as well. I like these triggers. That's settled. I'm not going to be doing them up close on the regular channel anymore. So you're not going to see like a bunch of gum chewing videos where it's really close up. I might be doing stuff, but it's going to be like here or something like that, not super up close, because a lot of the stuff that I saw was specifically about my mouth, and no thank you. I'm not comfortable with that anymore. I'm sorry. I know that there are a lot of people that don't take it that way, but it's been enough people that have, that's really disgusting to me. And again, I'm doing this for the love of the game. I make these videos because I care about you all and I want to make enjoyable content. I don't want to be doing that to make myself uncomfortable and to traumatize myself, to be completely real with you. Especially as somebody that has had kind of the background that I have. That is the reason why I don't do anything like that is actually self-harm to me. So, no thank you. Anything up close like that, I'm just going to keep as a members video, just because that's a little bit of a dissuasion. That's the same thing with the radio triggers. I already had to move those over there for that reason, because I found out that people were fetish minding with that. Like, I feel like some people took the entire like the like gooner baiting and stuff like that, the kind of like funny parody haha part of it, you know, that ironic part, and they were like, actually, I'm for real. They were actually being real about it. Because again, they're in my comment section and they're in my inbox. If you've noticed, I've stopped commenting back to people as well. I'm just hearting things. I haven't had it in me. Hopefully I'll return back to that at some point, but if I don't, I want to make sure I do show you all that I care and I do appreciate you, so the heart does actually mean that, genuinely. I care, but at the same time, it's been too much, to be honest, and I think some people have very much taken advantage of the fact that I approach things myself with a good intention, and I am naive enough to think that some people do operate with that as well. But, which, to be real with you, I'd rather operate that way instead of thinking that everybody is out to get me or is disgusting. Sorry, I had to pause there. Jonas decided to act up. I had to tell him stink it. But I just want to say, again, I do appreciate you all. I apologize that I'm even going to have to stop doing any amount of triggers, but I'm just not comfortable with it. I also have stopped doing customs with that because, to be honest, especially with the way that I found out that some people view it, that puts a really bad taste in my mouth. The customs were just supposed to be like, oh, is there something that, like, you specifically want me to do that, like, I wouldn't normally do on the channel? So it's like just anything that you could think of that I wouldn't put on the normal channel. but it is still SFW. So like, I've had people where it's like, hey, I just want you to make a video where you just once in a while say my name, or like something along those lines, or like you'll have a conversation, just randomly throw somebody's name in there. I've had a couple like that. I think I actually mentioned I had that one that started out as a custom that was the mic cover blowing. I loved that one. I love that video. I absolutely love that video still. But I have had some really nice customs, but I've also had a lot of people where it's like they'll specifically request like gum chewing, and I don't think necessarily that every single person is doing it in a bad way. In fact, I don't think that most of them are. But I have enough of an indication that at least a couple are where I'm like, you know what? Okay. So the reason I'm making that specifically a members only thing is anyone who really wants new videos like that, because I'm not going to get rid of any of the old videos. I'm not taking any of the content and just going to put it behind a paywall. Anything that's already up on the channel right now is going to stay there. But I'm just going to make that members videos from now on. Make any of those triggers members videos from now on when you speak properly. Specifically because that makes it a little bit less of a paywall versus something like a custom, right? It doesn't feel as getting specifically a custom for a trigger like that just kind of gives me like an OnlyFans vibe, if that makes any sense. And specifically, people asking me to make one when I first started, I don't want any association with that. But I think that'll probably be the best way going forward. I already post a bunch of random stuff for the members, so doing those videos, doing those particular triggers, I already had started only doing lens licking and kissing sounds on there too forever ago, because I was really concerned about people being a certain way about it, and it's done particularly well with that because everybody's been respectful. So I already know that that's working, so I'm just going to do it that way, and that makes it a little bit more accessible, but it does at least put a barrier of entry there where there's enough of a dissuasion. That's what I'm trying to basically do, is dissuade, because I'm not going to stop doing anything that I want to do. I'm just going to have to be a little bit specific about it. But considering how many people get blamed for the type of audience they're cultivating, you think I'm just going to let this stuff float by? No. I don't want people to be here specifically because they think in some way, shape, or form that they have like a chance with me, or they think in some way, shape, or form like they're objectifying and sexualizing me, every single facet of myself. If they're just like going down a checklist, basically, like, because that's kind of what it's felt like. I'm very aware of what some people have been thinking because they made sure to let me know about it. But yeah, I apologize to everybody who actually is civil and like a decent person, because I am in some way, shape, or form going to be depriving you of things that you would like to listen to. I'm not taking anything in the past down, so if there's a video that you really liked, it's not going anywhere. It's not, and I have the playlist already put out to the sides, so you can always check those out too. I do keep those relatively updated, but yeah, I apologize, just going to be from this point going forward. I'm just not comfortable with doing those triggers at this point, specifically just for the regular channel. I will continue doing them here and there for the members videos in a regular rotation. The members videos I have just been doing, I'm going to have to get new radio. But radio triggers, kissing sounds, mouth sounds, lens licking, those I usually do relatively often because I only do them there. And I keep finding different ways where I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool if I did it that way. So I usually keep those in regular rotation, except for, recently, since I was going insane there and barely even able to post, but I did a lot of outdoor videos during that time period. I still have like a bucket full of those. But I just want to make sure I gave you all a little bit of an update as to what's been going on. Again, in no way, shape, or form is it because I don't care about you all, or I don't want to be here for you all, or I don't care about the channel. I could have just like deleted it. I didn't do that. I still care and I want to be here. And again, considering I started doing this in 2020 and I didn't actually even make any money off of it until I actually think it might have been 2024. Was it 2023 or 2024? I still make like nada. This is not my form of income whatsoever. This is literally just for the love of the game. I love ASMR. I love the ASMR community. I love actually being able to make like weird little stuff for you all. And I like this art form because it is in some way, shape, or form. Anything can kind of be art, actually. I shouldn't discredit. I immediately want to be like, oh, well, no, I mean, technically I am. This technically is art. It's political in a way, actually, if you really think about it. Easier near the layer. But I love doing this. I love ASMR. I love being able to be here for you all, and I am very appreciative for the community I have. I just need to make sure I kind of do that. Because again, I'm not okay with any of that, to be real with you. I'm not okay with any of that, to be real with you. I appreciate you all. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're all here another year. That's amazing. That's wonderful. I'm just going to, as much as possible, move forward, making sure that I further reiterate, no, But I hope you're all doing so absolutely well out there, and you stay well and you stay safe. And I hope you have an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, beautiful day, night, whatever you're watching this one. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful,